What up, though? Welcome to the brand new Airbit Free Game Producer Podcast. My name is Andre. I am in the brand new Bandwidth Studios, the A Room to be exact, you know what I'm saying? And I got the super producer with me, the big homie, the multi-platinum producer, Willpower. What's up, homeboy?
What it do? I'm in this bitch. You already know.
Yeah, man. And we real blessed, though, man. We real blessed, man, to have a very special guest. This is his second time on the podcast, you know what I'm saying? You can go back to episode number 58 and hear his first episode with us, man. But he's a platinum producer, you know what I'm saying? He's worked with Drake, you know what I'm saying? Young Thug, Lil Uzi Vert, Young Jeezy, Janelle Monáe. The list just goes on. I could just name a bunch of people he worked with. You know what I'm saying? We got Supah Mario in the building. What up, homeboy?
What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man. Blessed to have you, man.
Welcome back, bro.
It's my favorite place to be, bro. I love the studio. Man. I love the new build. I love what y'all got going on right now. It's a blessing, bro.
Man, I'm just honored, man. I got my young G in the house, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know we from the same hometown, and this guy went from basically just being out there in South Carolina making a name for himself to become one of the top producers in the world, bro. Like, in no time. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like it took some time. It felt like forever to me.
Yeah, I think when we interviewed you last time, the first Drake record came out on the More Life project. That it just came out. Yeah. And Jeffrey, Young Thug's album was buzzing. Still one of my favorite albums of the last few years. Yeah. You had some bangers on there, you know what I'm saying? But since then, though, it's like, my goodness, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about record after record after record, you know what I'm saying? One of the biggest albums of last year, Scorpion, you lit that thing up, you know what I'm saying?
Talk about that, man. Like, what was that like? Because, I mean, you know, all of us, you know, producers are out here trying to find that moment or try to find that big, you know, that big placement or that one thing that'll help define your career. I mean, and bro, like to end up on a Drake project in this era is
two in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like landing on like a Michael Jackson project back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
Can you speak about that? Like, what was that like?
I mean, I think with all of my I call it that. With all of my blessings or with all of my placements, it's always like I'm always shocked. I'm always like, wow, I can't believe I made it. You know what I'm saying? But with Drake, it was like, it was so unexpected, bro. It was like the most unexpected thing that's ever happened in my life. Because there's people you dream of working with and you hope you get to work with them. Right. And then there's people you're like, that's too far-fetched. I'll probably never get that. Yeah. That was one of those too far-fetched moments where I felt like I would never work with Drake. Wow. Drake is never going to know who I am.
That was so far gone. No pun intended. Face-ass boy. Oh. Listen, so Ryan is going crazy.
We got the new drops, y'all.
New drops from PBR in this thing.
We need that.
Oh, God. Face-ass boy.
Hilarious.
He didn't say the word since I got here. So you asked him a question, you just hit the
button. Yeah. So yeah, man. So that's crazy to me, dude. Like, yeah. I mean, I've been producing a long time, man, and you know, it's just something special about knowing that you're even, you know, at a certain point in your career where you're even considered to make a project like that. Not alone have one of the best songs on the project. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was a point that I was trying to make.
That shit was crazy.
I was like, man, I know I gotta stand out. Since I'm the new guy, you know what I'm saying? There's so many veterans on that project and so many like, you know, reputable producers on there. I gotta make myself known. Yeah. So when I was making the beats or when I was sending beats, I would only send beats that I felt like Drake wouldn't mess with. Yeah. You know, everybody was sending the typical Drake stuff. I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta get on some of this South shit.
That's crazy.
Free game.
Yo, speak to that though, because like that is a problem that a lot of people have. You know what I'm saying? I get a phone call, man, that such and such working on a project. The first thing you want to do is go try to make some shit like what they already got.
It's instinctual. You want to go make what you already heard before. Yeah. I think a lot of people, they get hit up because whoever's calling them recognizes your sound. They recognize that you bring something to the table that's not already there. Yeah. So I think people should be themselves when they're pitching for these projects, or like, you know, make sure that you're doing something out of the ordinary, because if they wanted the usual, they'd go to the usual to go get the usual.
Yeah, that's right. This is fact. So like from a workload, you know, standpoint, what has that done for you? Like, cause you know, I've seen some people go out, get a placement or two, do really well in the situation, and then fall off from a work standpoint, like, you know, you like this dude at the beach, he ain't working right now, or this, you know what I mean? Are you working that, yo, these drops are crazy. I love it. Yo, so are you working more now? You know, I know that it's hard to call whether or not you're going to get a placement or not, but are you more in the studio now? Has it driven you to do more, or what has it done for you?
I'm always driven. I don't think my drive ever changes. I think I go through situations emotionally that kind of determine my creativity. So there's days where even if I'm driven to work, I'm not creative. You know, I'm always driven.
Yeah.
I just might not be creative. And it's like ups and downs in this. You know how it goes. It's like, all right, so I got this big placement. I'm expected to keep that going. I'm expected to stay in that tier.
Yeah.
And you might have a year where you just it ain't shit going on.
Right.
So I work in the meantime when there's nothing going on, but I make sure I take my breaks too. I make sure I go to the beach. I make sure I take my family on vacations. I make sure I get my relaxation time.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I feel like that's important if you wanna stay fresh. I think with me, I'm such a workaholic. I get forced into situations where I gotta relax. So it's like by default.
Gotta be like, sit your ass down
for a minute. Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking on that last point and the Drake record, I read somewhere in an interview where you said that when you made that beat, you were in a real tough spot, like in life, just kind of a real kind of like maybe like a down period. And for all our producers out there and all our creatives that are trying to chase a dream, like, how did you fight through that tough spot? Because think about it, you were going through a tough spot, but that record kind of like changed things for you. So how did you fight? How did you fight through, you know, to make that record being in such like a down spot as opposed to just giving up and going to do something else and falling off?
Well, I mean, as far as when you listen to the beat, you can't really tell that I was in that space. It's because that beat was made prior to me being in that space. That beat was made. A lot of the beats I made for that project were, you know, just stuff I had sitting on my hard drive.
Okay.
But as far as the down space I was in at the time, it was more of a transitional period for me in my life. It's like, all right, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to have my own stuff. I'm ready. You know, I got a 3-4-year-old daughter at the time. I'm like, I want to make sure I can get school clothes, make sure I got a car. So it was the downtime wasn't like I wasn't depressed or anything like that. It was just like a part of my life where I was trying to get myself together and become a grown man.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, that's when I was like going hard, bro. Like, I don't care what time it is, I'm making these beats. Right. I still got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, go clean up the school and, you know, do the janitor thing or whatever. Yeah. But I'm making these beats, bro, because I felt it. You know when you close to something. You can feel it when you getting real close to something.
Yeah, well, can you speak to that, man? Because to talk about, you know, the janitor thing, was that like a job you had? Was that what you were doing before you?
I had my own company. Yeah. I was basically working for myself.
Yeah.
And my girl's sister worked at a hair school. Yeah. And I also worked at the mental hospital over there on Fair Road.
I know exactly what's up. Yeah.
So I would go there and clean up that spot Monday through Friday. And once I left there, I started cleaning up the school. The school, I made my own hours. Yeah. And there's a guy from our hometown named B Fats who gave me a job as well. So I would go clean windows and stuff and, you know, just making extra money on the side. Yeah. And whenever I got time, that's when I was making music.
I think that speaks a lot to people, man, because I get producers all the time, man, who want to go and become full-time producers. They want to stop doing all things in life just to make beats. But I'm always like, you know, you got to find a way you got to get to that point. You can't just wake up today and say, I'm going to be, you know, a full-time record producer, but you ain't making, you know, ends meet. You don't have a way to.
I got something to add to that.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, I watch these guys and I get hit up about this on social media all the time. It's hard, bro. It is very hard to transition from working your normal everyday job and trying to transition to being a full-time producer. Right. Just between, you know, the time that it took me to stop being a janitor and become a producer, like I had $5,000 to my name. I took publishing deal during that period. Yeah. I didn't take the best publishing deal. I took not the best publishing. I don't want to speak too heavy on it because I'm sure they're going to watch this podcast.
It's all good.
Free game. You know? But to this day, I am those are some of the closest people to me, the people that gave me that deal.
Yeah, for sure.
They believed in me when I had nothing on the table.
Yeah, for sure.
And they gave me a few dollars, and it really is about you. If you can stretch your money, if you can take your money and do the right thing with it, you can turn this into something.
Yeah, you can maintain, right. I think that's the key, man. I you know, it's tough. I've been producing, man, almost 20 years now, you know what I mean? And I haven't had another job. So really? I know exactly what it is to walk off of a job and just say, look, this is what I'm doing now. You know, but
you gotta have some kind of plan.
Yeah, but like if you ain't got a strong back for that, bro, like that's a hard thing to take on. You know what I'm saying? So it is about, you know, managing your money, managing your time, managing your expectations, because a lot of times that's really where your heart gets broken. It's not whether or not you could have made money. It's about you having a larger view of what you thought it was going to be, and then you find out it's much smaller than that.
But you know what? I notice a difference between people like me and people in your position.
Yeah.
So my position, you're forced to make music that you don't always want to make.
Yeah.
I feel like you might have had a tougher time than me because you weren't willing to just do what everyone else was doing. You like, right. I'm gonna do this how I want. Right. I'm gonna get my placements, but my end goal is to have my own shit. Yeah. You know, I want to build my own shit and find the right people. So it's like it's tougher on people that have to wear multiple hats. Yeah. Right now I'm wearing one hat.
Right.
I'm just a producer. I'm getting placements.
Yeah.
But my ultimate
big ones
goal
though, bro. Come on.
but we've always talked about this. I've always dreamed of being where you at right now. Yeah. You know, I don't want to have to depend on placements for my income. You know, I want to be able to come to a spot that's mine and be like,
well, I'm gonna tell you now, you headed there. I mean, I don't know. You know how this is, man. Like when I was in your space, you know, early in my production career, like looking at it, there was no way I could have told you that this was gonna happen to me either.
So this wasn't always like.
No, I've always wanted it, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. It's just like you want that, but bro, trust me. Like I was a team player for a good 10 years of this before I even got.
That's where I was getting to.
Yeah, like bro, like honestly, bro, like everybody knows, man. Like I stuck with a rapper. I stuck with a situation because I knew where my bread was coming, and so I turned that into a full-time situation. I didn't really buck the system too much. It was like, all right, cool. Luckily, I was working with people who let me be creative. However, it was still a work situation where it was just like, you know, I'm gonna do the best with this that I can. But as soon as, you know, I got to a point where I knew it made sense to do my own thing, that's when I did it. And I think that, you know, just looking at the success that you're having and knowing how the music business works, like you're going to be fine. Like it won't be long. It won't be long. I'm telling you, especially if your mindset is to have your own here soon, bro, I know what's up.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of people, they're like, man, I just want multiple placements. I want to be able to say I work with the biggest artists. Yeah. You know, one of my dreams was to have one artist and build with that person. And because I could show my full creativity through that one artist, you know.
Build it, right.
Yeah. So I've always been more about the creativity.
Yeah. Well, I think it happens, man, like in time. So the position that you're in is this. You've gone out, you've made these amazing, you know, placements, you've got these great opportunities, but what's really happening is your name and your brand is being built. And people are starting to recognize how dope of a record producer you are. Like I found out by hanging out with you a couple times in a session that you're also a phenomenal drummer. Like these are things that most people who think we just make beats, they don't know that like you're really a skilled musician. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is your credibility though is gonna allow you here soon, if not already, to go and find that artist that you're going to be, you know, the mainstay behind or the, you know, the producer that makes it happen. So I just know what's up, dog. Like I just want to come back here with you in like another, you know, 3 to 6 months so we can have this conversation again. I could be like, bro, can I ride with you in your new Bentley, dog? You know?
For sure.
Yeah, that's me.
and the reason why we can say that confidently is because we know that you're one of the sought after producers. The reason why we know, we got a clue a few months ago back when Dreamville Records, J.Cole and crew were putting together a dream team of producers. Yeah. Everybody's putting the invitations up. Yeah. And the whole thing was like, well, how do you get an invitation? And we saw that you got the invite.
Yeah, you were like one of the first ones, bro. If not, like, you know, when they started putting up the logos and shit and doing the like the Batman call out for people and shit. It was dope. It was really dope, man. I thought it was brilliant.
So like, how did you get invited and what were those sessions like?
So Boss is somebody that I'm pretty close to, and
dope rapper
honestly,
on Dreamville.
Yeah, man, really one of my favorite MCs. Period. Somebody I've been a fan of for a very long time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to go back to how I met him, but honestly, I don't even remember how I met him. I don't know if it was online. I don't know if it was in person. It was in person. Yeah. It was in L.A. We was at his brother's birthday party.
Dope.
You know, his brother is the manager, Ibrahim.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay,
that's really dope. Yeah.
So he had a birthday party, and I was invited to that. How? I don't know. And I met Boss there, and we had been talking about working since forever. So they started putting out the thing for the Dreamville, and I called Boss. I was like, "Yo, bro, like y'all gonna be in Atlanta? What's up?" He said, "Bro, you in Atlanta?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah." He said, "Bro, I'm gonna hit you right back. I'm about to send you this invite. Post it on Instagram."
That's fire.
I said, "All right."
Yeah, that's dope.
He said he had the flyer made and sent it to me within like an hour and a half. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, these niggas gonna forget. They not finna send me this shit. I'm gonna just pop up and see what's going on anyway.
Right.
But he sent it to me, and it was a dope look. I would have went regardless.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so that's how that happened, and I mean, it was an amazing experience, bro.
Nah, that's dope, man. I'm noticing, man, you got great relationships, dog. Like a lot of people fuck with you, man.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you know, you got me, one of the OGs. You know what I'm saying? I know Crit fuck with you heavy. Like it's just like so many people. You know,
it's a lot of big brother shit too, bro.
Yeah,
it's like I know a lot of the young cats because I'm becoming
big bro.
Yeah, I'm in the middle stage right now, so it's like I know a lot of the younger cats, but I've always been somebody that's like tried to stick up under somebody older than me and like learn from them. So
that's dope.
And I value my relationships. I value them heavily. So it's like if I feel like I can learn from you, if I feel like it's a give and take situation, yeah, bro, I'm gonna stick with you forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I fuck with everybody who's like that, who thinks like that.
That's dope, man.
Well, I want to know what those sessions were like. I want to know, like you anybody jump on any songs, like you know?
Well, my songs didn't come out.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually make the project, so.
But you did record.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I had 2 songs recorded. One was with Boss and like Earth Gang, who I've supposed to been working with for a while now, and the other one was Jid, Loot, and Black.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, from Black.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, my bad. But yeah, so the sessions were crazy, bro, because it was so many people there. It was like a free for all. It was like get in where you fit in type thing. It's like if you can get here early enough to secure a place to work and create ideas, you good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people recognize that. I came on the second day, and because I came on the second day, it wasn't, the invites were still coming in. So a lot of people weren't there yet.
Yeah.
I was smart enough to realize I need to get there as soon as the studio opens up.
That's right.
Next day I get there, that's when the Boss song was created because I was there early enough.
Yeah.
Boss and J.Cole were one of the first people to show up. J.Cole came and sat in the room with me and my little bro Chris while we was cooking up and just chilling. Right. You know, obviously he's J.Cole, so like a bunch of people were following him trying to get in. He locked the door. He literally locked the door. Y'all play me some shit. Y'all five beats a piece. You play me some, you play me some.
That's dope.
Gave me his number, bro.
That's dope.
Gave me his number. Don't tell nobody I got his number. Cut that out of the video.
Cut that out of the video.
but show, that was, man, like that was an experience, bro. And like once it started getting hectic and I knew I had like been able to cut something, I didn't come back because I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and fight over placements, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But there's a lot of hungry people in there. A lot of creative shit going on. I'm talking about for every artist, there's at least 15 producers to every artist, bro.
That's dope.
And like you know, everybody pulled up. Rick Ross pulled up. Crit pulled up for a minute.
Tip came out there. Everybody was out
Tip
there.
was out there almost every day.
No, listen, it was dope, man.
Him and his kid.
I was kind of pissed though. I didn't get my invite. I should have pulled up on the.
That's honestly that's what a lot of these folks did. A lot of people didn't have invites, and they piggybacked off somebody else or just kind of like snuck in the room with.
Right, for sure. Yeah, so you're on a lot of stuff, man. You know, one of the hottest female rappers period happens to be a female, Meg The Stallion. You got a banger on there. You know, so how did that come about?
Man, I just so I'm really good with Alamo and 300. Okay, and 300 was A&R in that project. So one of the guys that works with her hit me up while I was in LA and was like, "Yo, I want you to come play some shit for this new chick I got named Megan." This was like right before she was like blowing up, on the cusp of blowing up.
Right.
It's like I've gotten accustomed to dealing with artists in their early stages.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to do it. If you really want to get on these projects, get in with them early.
Yeah.
So I just went over there and played a couple of tracks. I had no idea what her sound was like, what she was on. I just knew she was from Texas. So I just played some shit that I thought was dope.
Yeah.
She picked one. I played like 6 tracks. She picked 1 out of 6. She actually picked 2, but only one went on the project. Right. And I mean, really, it was like a 15-minute meeting, bro, and we got one.
On and popping.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, man.
I'm not in direct contact with her, so I've never met her except that one time.
Yeah.
And I usually just deal with the label when it comes to her.
Yeah.
But it was dope, man. I did not expect her to take off like that.
I think a lot of producers listening can learn from what you're saying, though, dog. Like, it's a reoccurring statement from you that, like, a lot of your placements and a lot of your, business moves are coming from knowing the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody wants to get to know an artist, but a lot of artists are incubated. They're protected. So a lot of times it's really about knowing the people around them or who they deal with. So
I dealt with something this year that really, really changed how I think. And it was to never depend on management or your team to build relationships for you. You do it yourself, bro.
Ooh,
stop letting other people stand in the middle of you and your connect. Really build this shit yourself. Meet who you need to meet. Be at events that don't even seem like they are meant for you. You go pull up to an A&R event. Pull up to some of the stuff they got going on in LA, even if there's no artist there.
Right.
You can build relationships with A&Rs. Go take them folks to lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pull up at their house, drop them off some weed. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Whatever you got to do. Right.
And that'll put you in a position where if they're not gonna always put you in the room with the biggest person popping.
Yeah.
They're gonna put you in the room with the up and comers.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
You want to be the first person on these new projects, bro.
Right.
And that's where I'm at with it nowadays. So it's like I stopped trying to focus on needing a team to do everything for me. I started doing it myself, bro.
Yeah. No, that's classic. That's free game right there, bro.
For sure.
Yeah.
Free game.
Good game.
Yeah.
You were talking before we start recording. We were talking a little bit about you working with Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
And how he got some heat. He got some real hot stuff coming. Can you talk a little bit about your involvement with his up-and-coming project?
Excuse me. I mean, I feel like Uzi's had 6 or 7 versions of the same album and is just not ready to put it out yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he got a lot of music for this project, man. A lot. I think he's determined just on some like homie to homie shit to make sure that whatever me and him do, something goes on that project.
Yeah.
But we've done like 20, 25 records, just us alone for this project. I mean, none of it's been in person. Uzi's not the type of person that really, if you ain't grow up with him or you somebody that he's been working with, he's not really pressed to try to get in the studio with you. That's a relationship I'm still trying to develop.
Yeah.
But just even over the phone, even over like text and FaceTime, we really getting shit done. Yeah. I can't even believe it. But I'm forced to work under these circumstances where it's like I can't be there and I can't really give my input like that. But it's still getting done. So I'm happy about that.
No, that's dope, man. I'm learning that right now. I'm old school, bro. Like I come from the I gotta be in the room era. But you know what? That shit's starting to fly, bro. It's like you really want to get on projects, you gotta be willing to let people get their hands on it and just trust that it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But I hate that, bro, because some of my beats, like, they don't come out mixed the way that I want them to. Now, luckily, I'm in touch with somebody who mixes most of these records. Jason Joshua. Yeah. I'm in touch with him now. We know each other now. So it's like, bro, please go back and turn that bass down for me, bro. Right. Please take that kick and sharpen it a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, I let them do their job, but I'm sure if I was there, I'll be able to really, really assist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's coming, man. Like,
can't wait.
Every time we talk, man, it's like you stepping up. You going up even higher up the food chain, man. So soon you'll be like, yo, come to my spot.
I appreciate it, bro. I need all that energy.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah.
Free Game Podcast.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a little break, man. We'll be back in a little bit. Free Game Podcast.
Yeah, we're going to take
by
a
Airbit.
break.
The Airbit Free Game Podcast. Understand me?
There it is.
This week's Beat Break is brought to you by Airbit producer Tone Jones. Airbit producer Tone Jones. Check him out on airbit.com. The title of this beat is called Smooth Criminal. Free Game Podcast. Beat Break. Yeah. We back with the Airbit Free Game Producer Podcast.
Yeah.
Free gang.
Couple more questions for the homeboy Supah Mario. So what are you working on right now that you can talk about?
Well, first of all, I'm working on my own project right now.
Yeah.
My producer project. Trying to do it a little bit differently, man, and feature a lot of new acts, a lot of up and coming artists.
Yeah.
Hopefully, find some talent that way, and just get the public involved a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Aside from that, I'm finishing up Uzi's album, and a couple things I can't mention right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keeping my fingers crossed for a couple more projects.
Right.
Hopefully, another Drake one, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing how that goes, but can't win them all, so I'm not pressing about it.
Man, look.
Hey man, you two for two so
Come
far.
on,
So
man.
Hey, after you give me that third one, bro, I'm out. You ain't got to worry about me no more. I ain't gonna hit you up no more.
That's dope. I mean, I know that as a producer, man, you also do kits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Where they at, and where can people find them, or are you even still doing that?
I am. So the last time I actually tried to, it was about 2 months ago. I wanted to put out a sound kit just full of melodies and like risers and stuff like that I wanted to introduce my website through.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting hit up by Splice for the second time, and they were like, "Hey, so saw you were about to put out a kit. How about you bring that over here and do your second second kit with us?"
Yeah.
Since that first one dropped in January, we did over 500,000 downloads in like a month and a half.
Oh,
bro.
that's crazy.
So it's there's obviously a decline right now because there's so many kits coming out with Splice right now.
Right.
But that was a very highly anticipated kit, which I had no idea people were looking for sounds from me.
Yeah.
So I was excited about that. And that's a new venture for me, like being in that lane. I've never been a sound kit person. I've never dropped a drum kit other than what I did on Splice. So I think because I have such a good relationship with Splice, you'll probably get my better content from there.
Right.
And I'll still continue to develop my website and put my own sounds on there, but the premiere sounds will most definitely be on this next Splice kit.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Well, that's dope. That's huge too, man. Whenever Splice or Sounds.com, all the type of people come together to reach out to producers, that's a good sign of growth. And
I've been hearing about the Sounds joint too.
yeah. It's just a lot of similar type of companies and stuff. I mean, Splice I think might be the top tier one right now, but I just think it's dope, man. That from your own work now, all of these other avenues are starting to open up. Content is key, man. So like, this is just another avenue to add to your content. So that's crazy.
Man, that's been like the highlight of my year so far.
Yeah.
What you just said, content is key.
Yeah.
And networking and relationships.
Yeah, well, and I'm also noticing, man, people aren't here in the studio with us to see this, but you traveling with a content guy now. You kind of got somebody that's helping you keep all that stuff up.
Free game.
Yeah, it helps because it's like intentional now, and you're able to take advantage of moments like these types of moments. So like whenever you go out and do something big or something even that might seem irrelevant to someone else, you at least have it captured, and then the story is still alive, and you can also later on you can use that information for things coming on. So that's really dope, man.
I feel like if you're gonna have a team, somebody to help you generate content or at least manage your content.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most important key points of this, especially since we're in such a social media driven, Instagram driven era.
Yeah.
Where what the content is more important than the music now, which hurts my feelings a little bit, but it is what it is. That's the era that we're in.
I actually heard somebody refer to music as content. How crazy is that? That's some shit.
Used to be art, right?
Right.
Well, remember from a business perspective, they first made record songs to promote
record players
and other products.
Wow.
They made
okay.
Music,
that's history.
Yeah.
Music was created to promote, not created, but the business of music was to promote products.
Okay.
So really, it started as kind of content in that sense. Then later, it began to be sold separately.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. That's
Fair
dope,
enough.
man. Well, listen, bro. Like, I just want to say, man, thank you for coming back on the show. You are the first producer to come back onto the Free Game
To the
podcast.
new platform?
Yes, man.
New platform,
That's
the first
dope.
one.
I am honored, man.
This is dope, man.
We honored.
We talked about it a little bit, but we just partnered with Airbit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a beat marketplace. It's like a really dope
A
place.
world leading beat
Yeah,
marketplace.
yeah. It's like a Anyway,
Where you at, bro?
Facts.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just a place where producers go, man, to sell music, sell beats. You know what I'm saying? It's it's a really dope platform. But we just partnered with them. We just brought the show back. You're the first producer on here, man, and I'm honored to have you here. And
so this episode will premiere on their website?
Yes, this will be on the website. This will also be on all of our content, produced things that have to do with the Free Game Podcast. Awesome. So we're going to get the word out, man. And, I'm just thankful that you're here, man. I pray that you continue to do well out here. You're a great dude, man, and I just wish well for you, man. And
let's once again let everybody know where they can find you on the internet, social media, all that. Shout it out.
My Instagram is SUPAH Supah. That's how I spell my name.
Yep.
Supah Mario IG on Instagram. I just built my website. It's still in the making, but it's www.supah-mario.com. Twitter is Supah Mario Beats. It's the only platform I don't really get on too much, but for those who want to contact me on there, it's Supah Mario Beats at gmail.com. Hold on, let's redo that. Let's do that. I'm about to give y'all the wrong email. For people that want to contact me via email, it's supermariobusiness@gmail.com.
There it is, man. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it right here on the Free Game Podcast. Thank you for coming, my brother. We'll catch you on the next round.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
We up in this bit like,
Yeah.
That's the one I thought was me, bro. That's how I sound when I be yelling on the mic. Shit.